Chef Mark with the Scott Fair Online International Culinary Academy. In this session, we'll be tasting 3 beer. We have a Pilsner, we have an ale, and a stout. And they are in varying degrees of course, palate feel, carbonation, texture, and flavor, and alcohol. Water is important in the quality of a beer. Probably the most important thing to make a great beer is great tasting water. And then the use of hops and yeast and wheat or barley, or in the case of a stout, it's really not a beer, though we say it's in the beer family, but it really is not. It's a stout, entirely different process. Similar to being fermented, but it's robust and has chocolate and tobacco and some great flavors. It's considered a foodstuff, certainly for many years in Ireland. Housewives who known at that time drank that because it has excessive amounts of barley and wheat in it, and it's been fermented and aged, so it really is a very sustaining beverage, actually, very sustaining beverage. So beer is a foodstuff, just that you can't drink too much of it. So that's the darkest beer. The middle would be an ale. This is a great beer, Oberon ale. This is from Michigan, certainly the Midwest with its Germanic heritage from Europe. Lots of breweries in the greater upper, middle, and southern Midwest areas. So this is an ale, a different process than stout altogether. And here we have what's called a honey beer. Just came out for the summertime now, very light, brewed with honey Weiss. So it's a light beer. So there's that Leinenkugel from the Midwest. It's really nice golden Pilsner style beer. It's light. It's a lighter beer, lighter than an ale, certainly lighter than a stout. It's the consistency of water. It has a beautiful light amber color, right? So that's a nice beer. It comes out this time of year. So a little early for the summer, but they're thinking positive. The cheese we partnered with that today is also from Wisconsin. It's a applewood smoked cheddar, so it's really nice. You can see the lines on the back of the cheese where it rested on the wire rack when it was smoked. So this is other artisanal or craft cheese. It goes with the craft beer. That means you can drink more, eat more, right? Because it's artisanal, right? Now we have Oberon Ale. It's from Michigan. What's nice about all the craft beers or the artisanal beers, all the new labels that they're doing, they're kind of exciting. Some are very interesting, some are very strange, but they're all very colorful. Ale is a great beer. It's a little more tart than a lager. Lager beers, like I said, they're sweet more or less. They don't have the piquancy and tartness that an ale has. Many times you'll see strawberry ale flavor. That's very popular with many people. Ales are easy to make and they age somewhat, so they give a little more piquancy, a little more tartness to them. So there's an ale. So that's interesting how it had a nicer head on it. Probably due to the fact that there's no honey in that straight, Pilsner and lager and ale process. Now with this cheese we have a dill Havarti, because the Havarti, another great cheese made domestically in Wisconsin. It's a soft ripened cheese, not unlike a Fontina, and there's dill inside, so this goes well with an ale. Let's look at our last brewed item, and this is Guinness Stout. It's this stout different than lager beer or an ale. Let's pop it open. Usually has more alcohol to it. I've had an Imperial Stout, 9% alcohol. Realize that this is 3.5%, and the stout can be 4 to 9. It packs a punch, so you have to be mindful of that. And then when you pour a stout, it just depends on, this is the Guinness Extra Stout. This is the export stout. So they make this in Canada and North America. And the stout you buy in Ireland is entirely different than the stout you get in North America. The water makes a big difference. So this is very robust. This is certainly, if you like burgers and steaks or like more robust flavor, like Cabernets, this is, I guess, the Cabernet of beers. It's rich, it's velvety. It's like dark chocolate. It has a character, as opposed to white chocolate. Dark chocolate has a little more character to it. So the stout is richer, more robust, more flavor, and holds up well to many rich meats and sauces, where a lager beer doesn't usually hold up as well. But it's a personal preference. And the cheese we have for this is it's a smoked Swiss cheese. So there's no eyes in this Swiss cheese. This is a sweet Swiss cheese, so a little sweeter, and the eyes don't develop on this Swiss cheese, also made in Wisconsin. I guess the cheese capital of the U.S. You can see the fact was, again, put on a rack to be smoked. So 2 smoked cheeses, though this is a sweet Swiss, smells wonderful. And the extra sugar in that should go perfect with this Guinness stout. So if you're going to have a beer and cheese party, have the beer at the proper temperature, and enjoy your beer and cheese tasting. It was nice having you here today. Like they say, prosit.